this movie is very exciting and groundbreaking. During shooting, what kind of things you actually saw it, and can you walk us through?
With the nature of the technology?
Yeah, and also, you have a lot of very close-up shots. I wonder, like, how does it feel to act into the camera so close?
It took some getting used to because of the size of the cameras being so close and so intimate. It meant that often our sight lines with the other actors were obscured, and you'd have to perform the dialogue to bits of sellotape stuck around the camera rather than being able to see and maintain eye contact. And so you would do a wider shot, and you'd have that eye contact, and you'd almost have to hold on to the memory of that, and then use your imagination, obviously, as the camera came closer and as that was cut off. But he didn't want us watching the dailies, and so when we were shooting, I didn't know the level of the kind of intimacy and the clarity that it was picking up and how close it was. I didn't see that until I saw the film. So I had an idea of how close it was, but I didn't actually see it till the end.
You mentioned like some long shot and also the close-up shot. That means you have to repeat the same lines over and over again, right?
Yeah.
Even for the emotion.
Yeah.
How do you do that? I mean,
it's harder in some scenes than others. So for the more emotional scenes, sometimes you find you're able to keep giving what you need to give, but sometimes you kind of just get it all out at once, and I don't know, you just have to. I mean, it's your job.
And is this a job tough for you because you have to work with your dad? Is it?
I think I mean, I think anyone who gets to work with him is very lucky. So especially, as an actor, to just be able to work with Ang Lee is just an incredible opportunity. So I don't think any sort of personal relationship that we had. I mean, it's great to work with your father, but just being a part of the story and just sort of, it's just an incredible story. So
is it strict on you?
Strict on me? I mean, he expects a lot from any one of his actors, so I don't think there was any personal vendetta to try to torture me or anything, but
I know that in the very first step, when you go into the sort of like performance business in Hollywood, he kind of like he doesn't want you to do that, right?
Well, I think he knows it's a challenging industry, a challenging career path, but he didn't listen to his father when he wanted to be a director. So
that's a good one.
So
So,
I think it's okay.
But he's helping you now, is it? In being the son of Ang Lee, is it an advantage or disadvantage?
I think it's an advantage in that, creatively, I mean, obviously there's a lot of experience that he can sort of just sort of share with me, just what he knows about, this career path. But other than that, I mean, I think I think it's mostly just a benefit to just sort of have a person to sort of guide you through this business. Yeah.
And I'm also very curious about the audition process. I know this is your very first film.
Yeah.
Yeah, and your first film, you work with Ang Lee, and that's something probably a lot of newcomers in this star business, they might very envy you. So how did you get involved with the project and get in this role?
I auditioned. I was still at drama school at the time. I was training to be an actor, and I was on a 3-year course, and I was in my final year, and I did a tape for it. I signed with an agent, and I did a tape, and it happened very quickly over the next couple of weeks. I was taken to New York to meet Ang and meet the casting director, and we read a lot of scenes. And over the next 10 days, we did a lot of tests, both in New York and in Atlanta. We did a screen test with all the crew there. And it was just a very, very rigorous 10 days of making sure that I was the right person and the person that he wanted and that Sony wanted. And after about 10 days, I got back home to London and got a call saying, you got it. And so I had to drop out of school and get on a plane again, like 5 days later, and we started boot camp.
Do you ever curious like why he picked you?
I think we just
Did you ask
we just
him?
weren't. I didn't ask him, no.
Mhm.
But we worked well together in the audition. We worked for a few hours in this initial audition, and he really wanted to see. I think because of how he's made this film and the intimacy of it and how much is in the eyes, he wanted to see if he could play around with that and direct that in a very subtle way almost. And we worked on that for a few hours in the audition, and maybe that's part of the reason, but I don't know, you'd have to ask him.
I think it's because you look like Leonardo DiCaprio.
I think that might be the reason.
And do you ever need to go to auditions since this is Ellie's films?
Yeah.
It's kind of like film auditions.
Actually, he was at my audition.
Yeah,
Ooh.
I read, or I fed lines to Joe, so I saw how good his audition was. Yeah, I mean, he's seen most of the other things I've done, so I think he had a fairly good idea of what I'd done in the past. So
Right. So he kind of like create this role for you.
yeah,
Constantly.
but at home in New York, we did before the process, I did read some lines just so he could see where I was at that point. Yeah.
What was his first reaction when he saw your, line reading?
Line reading.
What did he say to you?
He was pretty strict. I mean, he has some pretty harsh things to say.
Can we know? For example.
That's for mine and his ears only.
Okay. After working with Ali, do you have any expectation to this, your career in the future? And also, I'm very curious. You have a lot of cry scenes in this film. What was in your mind when you're crying?
Well, firstly, I feel very lucky to have worked on this film with Ang, and I think in terms of my career, I just want to try and keep working with great directors and great stories and exciting people, and that's what I want to do. And in terms of crying,
big crybaby.
Big crybaby, yeah.
Yeah.
No, I don't know. I mean, you just have to try and connect to your character and to what your character's going through, and
So that's real
It's your job.
emotion.
yeah.
It's your true response for this film.
Yeah, and also I could draw upon. I think you bring part of yourself to any character, and there were parallels between what I was going through, being thrown into a situation that I was out of my depth at times in, and Billy being thrown into this new world, and so there were echoes that I could use and pull out of myself to kind of, I don't know, try and translate into something else.
Do you consider yourself, a crybaby? Probably.
Do I consider myself a crybaby?
Yeah, just regularly in
Am I?
your regular life.
That's pretty good.
I mean, I can do it on camera. I don't know.
Yeah, I've never seen him
No.
cry outside of.
No, I'm very, very hard.
Yeah.
That means you guys are both great performers. Great.
Thank you.
Best reason to see the leads?
The best reason to see it?
Yes.
Well, I hope people enjoy it. I think it's a film that works on many levels, on a wider political level, and people can, about the war and about soldiers and about the treatment of soldiers back home, but it's also a very human, personal story about a pretty normal boy, and I think that's something that anyone can latch onto.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, I think just from every standpoint, be it from the new technology to the story itself, like football, soldiers, Beyonce, and also just sort of the different, comedic actors who had never really done dramatic work before, and just sort of this weird amalgamation of these things that shouldn't really work together. I think was just a very sort of endeavoring, sort of courageous spirit, pioneering spirit. So I think that spirit just very much sort of translates, and you see it very directly on camera. So I think that's a very good reason to see.
Great. Thank you so much.
Thank you.